Cities are marvels of human achievement, rising from the ground as symbols of progress, innovation, and the collective dreams of millions. But as we've built them, layer by layer, we've also changed the very air that surrounds us, often in ways we barely notice. A subtle, persistent warmth now lingers in our urban landscapes, especially in summer, when the sun beats down and the city seems to radiate heat from every surface. Our cities are becoming warmer than the countryside, forming islands of heat in a cooler sea of green fields and forests that surround them. This is a direct result of our design choices, the materials we use, like concrete and asphalt, that trap and release heat, the energy we consume in our homes and businesses, and the way we lay out our streets, often with little room for nature to cool the air. As the global climate changes, this local heating effect intensifies, turning what was once a minor curiosity into a major challenge for city dwellers. The UK, with its dense, historic cities, feels this change acutely. From the bustling streets of London to the vibrant centers of Manchester and Birmingham, no city is immune. This isn't a distant problem. It's happening now, affecting our health as heat waves become more frequent, straining our infrastructure, and even threatening the nature within our parks and gardens as plants and wildlife struggle to adapt to rising temperatures. By exploring this silent warmth, we can learn how to build more sustainable, resilient cities, places that not only shelter us, but also protect our well-being and the environment. The journey begins with a simple question: why are our cities getting hotter, and what can we do about it? The answer lies in the urban heat island effect, a phenomenon that's reshaping the way we live, work, and experience our cities. The urban heat island, or UHI, is a phenomenon that describes how cities become significantly warmer than their rural surroundings, often by several degrees. This effect is especially noticeable during the summer months, but it can persist year-round, subtly altering the climate of urban areas. Imagine a bubble of warmth hovering over a city, surrounded by cooler air in the countryside. This invisible dome of heat is created by the unique way cities interact with the sun's energy. In the countryside, trees and grass cool the air through a process called evapotranspiration, where plants release water vapor, acting as a natural air conditioner. This keeps rural areas much cooler, especially on hot days. Cities, on the other hand, are covered in hard, impermeable surfaces like concrete, asphalt, and brick. These materials can't perform the same cooling function as plants and soil. Instead, these surfaces absorb and retain heat from the sun all day long, creating a much warmer environment that lingers even after sunset. On a calm summer evening, the center of a city like London can be up to 10 degrees Celsius warmer than nearby villages. This temperature difference can be felt just by stepping from a city street into a green park or out into the countryside. This isn't just about comfort, it's a fundamental change in the local climate that affects how we live, work, and even sleep in urban environments. At night, buildings and roads slowly release the heat they've stored during the day, preventing cities from cooling down as quickly as rural areas. This means urban nights can stay uncomfortably warm. The urban heat island isn't a new source of heat, but a result of city structures blocking natural cooling. Tall buildings and narrow streets trap heat, making it harder for breezes to carry it away. Replacing green, moist surfaces with hard, dry ones traps heat in the city. The lack of trees and parks means less shade and less cooling from plants. The sun's energy, instead of evaporating water from soil and plants, is converted directly into heat, which gets trapped between buildings and on streets, intensifying the warmth. This process is at the heart of why our urban homes are getting hotter, making cities less comfortable and more challenging places to live as our climate continues to change. The urban heat island effect is woven into the very fabric of our cities, shaping the way we experience summer in urban environments. Surfaces made from dark materials, such as asphalt roads and traditional roofing tiles, soak up the sun's energy throughout the day. These materials don't just get hot, they store that heat and slowly release it back into the air, keeping city nights warmer long after the sun has set. The way our cities are built also matters. Tall, closely packed buildings form what are known as urban canyons. These narrow corridors trap heat at street level and block the natural flow of cooling breezes, making it difficult for the city to cool down, especially during heat waves. On top of that, the daily activities of city life add even more warmth. Cars, buses, air conditioning units, factories, and even the heat from people themselves all contribute to what's called anthropogenic heat, extra warmth generated by human activity. In densely populated areas, these effects don't just add up, they multiply, creating pockets of intense heat that can be several degrees warmer than surrounding rural areas. The scarcity of vegetation and water is a critical factor. Trees, parks, and gardens act as natural air conditioners, cooling the air through shade and evaporation. But in many cities, these green spaces are small and isolated, surrounded by vast stretches of concrete and stone. Natural waterways like rivers and lakes once helped regulate city temperatures, but many have been lost or built over as cities expanded, reducing their cooling influence. With so little green space left, cities lose their natural ability to cool themselves, making them more vulnerable to extreme heat. All these factors, heat-absorbing materials, dense buildings, human activity, and a lack of nature, combine to create the urban heat island effect, making cities noticeably hotter than their surroundings. In many ways, our cities have been unintentionally designed to trap and amplify heat, turning urban areas into hotspots during the summer months. By understanding these building blocks, we can start to rethink how we design and manage our cities, taking steps to reverse the trend and create cooler, more comfortable urban spaces for everyone. UK cities face unique challenges with the urban heat island effect. Dense, historic construction, like London's Victorian terraces, absorbs and retains heat. Narrow streets and terraced housing trap warmth and prevent nighttime cooling. Our buildings are designed to keep heat in, not out, making them vulnerable during heat waves. Air conditioning is rare, so relief is hard to find when temperatures soar. Urban sprawl replaces green belt land with roads and houses, expanding the heat island's reach. Older people, who are more susceptible to heat-related illness, often live in these dense urban areas. The 2022 heat wave showed the real danger. Hospitals saw a surge in heat-related admissions. The urban heat island is a present threat to public health, set to worsen as the climate warms. The urban heat island effect impacts every aspect of city life. The biggest risk is to human health. Prolonged heat can cause dehydration, heat exhaustion, and even heat stroke, especially for the vulnerable. Lack of nighttime cooling denies the body a chance to recover, increasing stress and health risks. UK homes built to retain heat can become dangerously hot during heat waves, especially in top-floor flats or poorly ventilated spaces. Sleepless nights, reduced productivity, and discomfort become the norm. Public transport suffers. Trains can be delayed by buckled rails and buses become stifling. Outdoor workers must take more breaks, and even leisure activities become hazardous. Infrastructure is strained. Electricity and water demand surge, risking overloads and shortages. Higher temperatures worsen air quality, increasing smog and respiratory problems. The rhythm of city life slows under the oppressive heat. The urban heat island touches health, homes, and daily routines. London is a prime example of the urban heat island effect. The city's dense buildings and vast expanses of asphalt trap heat, making the center up to 10 degrees warmer than the outskirts. The underground traffic and office buildings all add to the warmth. During the 2022 heat wave, Londoners faced record temperatures, overwhelmed ambulance services, and major fires on the city's fringes. Infrastructure was pushed to its limits. The Greater London Authority now recognizes overheating as a major climate risk. Even in a typical summer, 1 in 5 London homes overheats, a number set to rise. London's fever is not a one-off, but a long-term condition needing urgent action. The city is now focused on adapting to this new reality. The urban heat island isn't just a southern problem. Manchester faces its own challenges. The city's mix of old red brick warehouses and new glass towers traps heat, making the center several degrees warmer than nearby countryside. Rapid development and high-rise buildings intensify the urban canyon effect, reducing airflow. Green spaces have been lost to new construction, locking in higher temperatures. Older terraced houses and modern flats alike struggle with overheating. Public health officials are increasingly aware of the risks during heat waves. Manchester is responding by expanding green infrastructure, parks, green roofs, and street trees. Projects like Mayfield Park are vital for climate resilience. Manchester's story shows urban heat is a national issue, demanding local solutions. We're not powerless. There are practical, beautiful ways to cool our cities. Green infrastructure is key. Planting trees, creating parks, and adding green roofs all help lower temperatures. Even small interventions like living walls or pocket parks make a difference. Using reflective materials for roofs and pavements can reduce heat absorption. Water features, ponds, fountains, and restored rivers cool the air and create pleasant microclimates. Sustainable drainage systems help manage flood risk and provide cooling through evaporation. At home, using shutters, fans, and nighttime ventilation can prevent overheating. Community action, planting street trees or creating local green spaces, builds resilience. By embracing these solutions, we can dismantle the urban heat island. Cooler, safer, and more pleasant cities are within reach. Tackling the urban heat island is part of the larger fight against climate change. The solutions, more trees, green roofs, and parks, make cities healthier and more beautiful. This is not about sacrifice, but about enhancing urban life. Collaboration is essential. City planners, architects, communities, and residents must work together. Green infrastructure should be seen as vital as roads or power lines. Every new development is a chance to make a positive choice for a cooler future. The story of life is adaptation. Now it's our turn to adapt our cities. By working with nature, we can transform heat islands into cool, green sanctuaries. Across the UK, there's growing awareness and a shared desire for solutions. Our creativity can reimagine cities for a new era. The future of our cities is in our hands. Let's make them cool, sustainable, and thriving for generations to come.